So I was briefly mentioning, I showed you Gaur Nitai, the small deities on the altar, and we were just talking about Advaita Acharya. So tomorrow is the birthday of Balramji. So now actually the festival season starts. So now we have Nityanand Prabhu's birthday, which is Balram, who's Balramji. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Ramachandra, we will have Ramanomi coming up. So it will be just festival. Then Janmashtami, Balram's birthday, and then that will also come in there. And the other thing which is we are so very fortunate today is also Vara Dwadashi. So Ekadashi is the day when we fast, Dwadashi is the day when we complete the fast. So Varahadev, just wanted to cover a few minutes on that and Nityanand Prabhu, and then we can start our discussion. So Jay and Vijay, they are you heard about Jay and Vijay? Anyone here? You heard about it? So Jay and Vijay, thank you, Prabhu, are the gatekeepers of Vankuta. Where Vishnu resides, they are the gatekeepers of Vankuta. So one time Brahmaji had four sons whose name is four Kumaras. And those four Kumaras actually came to see Lord Vishnu. And they were tiny, small boys and not wearing anything. So when they enter there, then these gatekeepers whose name is Jai Vijay. So any Vishnu temple you go, when you enter there, any South Indian temple you go, you will see two personalities standing outside. They are actually Jai Vijay. Any temple, correct. Any temple you go, you will have Jai Vijay there. And Garuda will be there, who's Vishnakaru. So they three. So Garuda is generally facing towards Lord. So he'll be offering obeisances. Like you go to Venkateshwara temple, you're from Tirupati, so you would know. But so he's facing towards that, and then sorry. I was searching. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So Hare Krishna. So and Jai Vijay are the personalities who are standing out. Even if you go to Sri Rangam temple where you have to cross over, you'll be seeing that. So these four Kumaras were asked, who are you? Where are you entering? You can't just see Lord Vishnu like that. So they became angry and they cursed them. They cursed them that you will have to take three births in material world. So the first birth, they took the birth of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. You heard about Hiranyakashipu, right? Yeah. So Hiranyakashipu is um, brother of Hiranyaksha. Both are brother. Now Hiranyaksha, who was an elder brother, he was a very powerful demon. Very powerful. You can imagine if they are the gatekeepers of Vankuta, which means they have to be extremely powerful personality. So they come as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyaksha, what he did is he took the whole Prithvi, Bhumi Devi, and put it in the ocean, deep in the ocean. So Bhumi Devi prayed. Bhumi Devi is very close to, she is very dear devotee of Lord Vishnu. So Bhumi Devi prayed, and Lord Vishnu appeared as Varahadev. Have you heard about Varahadev avatar? The boar incarnation. So boar incarnation came, he appeared twice actually, but we will not get into those details. So he actually lifted the earth on his tusk, and you see that photo is, I don't have it here, but it's just very beautiful. Varahadev. So he actually brought Bhumi Devi back, and today is his appearance day. Now one may say, Are, now if you see, Lord has many incarnation. If you hear about 10 incarnation, Dasha avatar, we call it as. So one of the avatar is Kurma, which is tortoise. And you see that in some of the temples, there is tortoise at the entrance, it's considered. And what was the purpose of tortoise incarnation? Samudra Manthan, which is going on the churning of the ocean. At the time, like if you make buttermilk, what you need is you need a pivot on which this thing, right? So when they are churning the ocean, there has to be some base on which the stick will stay, and that was actually a mountain, right? And Vasuki was a snake in the form of a rope, and then tortoise Lord appeared as tortoise, and on his back this whatever mountain was standing, so that it can't just go roll and roll like that. So that's Kurmadev. So today is Varadev's appearance day. Now, when Lord appears, it may appear like, how come Lord is taking an animal form in this tortoise? He's taking the form of Varadev. Like Prabhupada gives a beautiful example, like a father when he is a small child. Sometimes he plays the role of a elephant. The child on his back. It's not that he's an elephant; he's trying to play that role. So that's how Varadev appeared. So that's one important significance today. And then I message Ekadashi. Ekadashi comes every 15 days. Now there are various reasons about Ekadashi. So one of the most important reason is, if you have at least I didn't notice until I heard, so I want to spell this out. We eat thrice a day minimum, or twice a day, or sometime once a day. But if you realize, we never give the break to the digestion system. It continuously works, continuously works, continuously works, right? Ekadashi is a time when you give the break to your digestion system so that it can recuperate, so that it can actually recover from whatever is going on and get some rest. So that's why on Ekadashi it is suggested to eat fruits, avoid the grains, because grains need a lot of digestion. So avoid the grains on that day. And also from Ayurveda perspective, one aspect I covered. The second aspect is the fruits, they directly get into your bloodstream. The digestion system doesn't come into the picture for fruits. That's the power of fruits. That's why you see a lot of rishis. Actually, if you ask them what is the secret of they live for long years, you ask them, they eat fruits. Just because what you need is the energy to actually perform different activities. So if you eat fruits, it directly enters in your bloodstream and you get an energy. You can search Google, there is a lot of this on that part. And then I was just mentioning about Monday. So I was briefly mentioning about a good dog and bad dog on day one. So we talked about good dog, what is good dog, and we talked about there is a soul and there is super soul within us. Now, who is the super soul? We mentioned about Advaita Acharya, who appeared in our heart as Paramatma. So Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Vishnu. So when Krishna appears or when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears, they never come alone. I briefly mentioned that in our previous class. They come with all his associates. So first associate or first expansion of Lord Krishna is Balram. What is the difference? This is very important. Actually, we'll read it because we don't get to read that often and we don't have that in TV and all that stuff. So first expansion of Krishna is Balram. So he is not different from Krishna. He is as good as Krishna. But the difference between Krishna and Balram is, Krishna is the God who accepts service and Balram is God who offers service. So now one may say, can you tell how does Balram manifest? So Balram appears in the form of a dam. We were mentioning about Vrindavan. We talk about different various places. So Lord Balram appears as these holy places. Lord Balram appears as a temple. Lord Balram appears as a Sudarshan Chakra. Lord Balram appears when Vishnu is there, the Shesha is there. So if you know about Krishna, when Krishna was born, when when Vasudeva was taking him from the prison house to Nanda's house, when he was crossing the Yamuna, and Yamuna's current was very high at that time when he prayed, and at that time Ananta Shesha came and protected on top of it, right? You know that's pastime. So that's actually Balramji. So he comes first and he is a Guru Tattva. Any Guru in the entire cosmic manifestation is representation of Balram. So he's a very, very important personality. And we are actually doing one drama tomorrow which will talk about what is the significance of Lord Nityananda. Same time, 7:30. If you can make it, that will be wonderful. Or otherwise, it is there on Facebook as well. Every recording goes there on ISKCON, IFH temple. You can go there. So very, very important time, because you can never achieve Krishna without Balramji. Every time anyone who wants to protect, and that's a drama we have been practicing, that you need the mercy of a guru to get Krishna. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. What we are trying to do now is, we are looking for a seed of bhakti, and Guru installs that by Krishna's mercy. So by Guru's mercy one gets Krishna, and by Krishna's mercy one gets Guru. So this is a very important part which I wanted to cover. Any questions or comments before we get into our Bhagavad Gita study? Good, also good. I wanted to cover because this is very important. So we go back to chapter 1 and we were on text 4. Text 4, we covered the sloka. We will read the translation. Can someone read the translation? I will go ahead and share the screen here.
Yeah, sure.
Please.
Text 4. Here is this army. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen, equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. Great martyrs like Yuyudhana Virata and Drupada.
Wonderful. So, if you remember, we covered Drupada's part time last time, right? When we talk about Drupada's son is standing on the other side. Just the previous verse, we were discussing that part, right? So, Drupada is the father of Draupadi, just to recollect that part. Virata, let's cover that part. If you know, when Pandavas were sent for the exile in the forest, so they were supposed to live 12 years in 12 or 13, 12 years in incognito, and 13 year they are living. Go ahead, you want to say
No,
something?
sorry. I thought the last year they're supposed
Correct.
to be.
So last year they have to be in they are banished to the forest, and last year is incognito. What is that means is, if they are caught during that period of time, they have to go for another 12 years, right? So now this is an important year. So what happened is Pandavas took a different form. Bhima was a rasoya, the kitchen, what do you call rasoi? The cook. Yeah, thank you, bro. Sometimes I lose the words. And Arjuna was actually a lady, and they were in the kingdom of Virata. So they were hiding there in this form. And if you've seen movie called Arjuna, they've actually showcased that in the route. So this is the whole pastime which has happened in Virat. And Duryodhan, because he wants to send them for another 12 years, so he sent all his army everywhere. And then some of his people found where they are. So they overnight they decided they will attack Virat Desh. And when they attacked, at that time, Arjuna single-handedly defeated everyone, including Karna. So this was a time. So this is happening in Virat, and the king of Virat, his daughter was Uttara. So if you know Abhimanyu, who is Arjuna's son, his wife is Uttara. She is actually the daughter of Virat king. So it's a very multi-dimensional aspect actually. So Mahabharata is super amazing. And now when we were talking about Balramji, so Balramji appeared in three rupa, and then he's always there with Krishna. First he appeared as Lakshman with Lord Ram. In that pastime, Ram was the elder brother, Lakshman was the younger brother. And you see that when Ram was banished, Lakshman was not banished. Actually, Ram was banished. And for wife to leave with him, it makes sense because she is Ardhangani. In Hindi we call, I don't know what is the right term for that, but it's yeah. So she says, I can't live without you. So she wants to go. But why did Lakshman has to go? Because Lakshman cannot live without Lord Ram. Same way, it is said Shatrughan will never leave Bharat. He would always be with Bharat. And Lakshman also left. So, a very interesting story actually. So, Lakshmanji also goes with Lord Ram. I'm just going to go there because I want to connect this part as there as well because there is a special significance there. So, when Lakshmanji goes, whole day he is serving, and whole 14 years he did not sleep. He was protecting because this is forest, so he wanted to protect and he wanted to do his service. And he is the same Balram because Lakshman is there. So after 14 years, or this is when before 14-year finishes, when Mother Sita is being taken by Ravana, and Lakshman actually says when Lord Ram is running behind Marichi in the forest in the golden deer, at that time Lakshmanji is protecting Mother Sita. And Mother Sita says, you go and protect Lord Ram. Heard his voice. Lakshman says, I know nothing can happen to Lord Ram. She says, no, you are here because you wanted to enjoy me. And then Lakshman said, Mother, I never ever thought about that piece. I know this is something is coming up, and that's why this is happening. I will create a Lakshman Rekha. Make sure you don't cross that. Again, I just get tempted about it because I can give hours and hours of classes. Ramayana is so amazing. So in spite of that, Mother Sita actually crosses that and Ravana takes her. And then after that, whatever happens and Lord Ram comes. Oh, sorry, Lakshman goes to Lord Ram and Ram says, why are you here? He says, because Mother Sita, but I asked you to stay there. So he is getting chastisement from that side also and this side also, but he did not complain because he is a servant. That's a qualification which Lakshman represents, that I am here to serve. And then after 14 years, actually, one time was asked, saying that, Lakshman never ate. But Lord Ram said, I gave you fruit every day. He said, if you go near that tree, you will see all the fruits which you gave me, they are put in there. Lakshman never ate a single drop, never drink a single drop of water, never ate anything for entire 14 years. So Lord Ram personally went, actually, it's a very beautiful narration, to count the fruits. Two fruits were less. So Lord Ram said, just for our understanding, you must have eaten two fruits. He said, no. 2 days you didn't offer me. When first day you didn't even give me fruits, because first day when Sita was stolen, at that, because you didn't eat, so you did not give me the fruits. And there was a second day also, I forgot that day, I can't remember. That day you did not give me the fruit, that's why these two fruits are less. So same Lakshman comes as Balram. In Krishna Leela, he is an elder brother. He said, Are tumhara chota bhai, okay, you just gave me a lot of trouble. Now I'll become your elder brother. And I'll have fight with you now. So that's what Balram appears. On coming back to this part, what was the favorite person or favorite student Balramji? Anybody knows? Duryodhan. Very interesting. That's why when Mahabharat happens, you'll be surprised. Where is Balramji here? Have you noticed that? There is no Balramji in entire Mahabharat. Where did he go? He never leaves association of Krishna. What is happening here? Because Krishna is on the side of Arjuna. He cannot be on side of Pandavas because his favorite student is Duryodhana, but he cannot be against Krishna. So he said, I'm leaving, I'll go for pilgrimage. So he leaves there and he visits all the holy places and Balram Leela. So he leaves there and he comes back when there is a fight between, and we did that drama also, when there is a fight between Duryodhan and Bhima. You know that pastime? So Krishna is there, and Krishna tells Bhima, he gives him a hint. He takes the leaf out and then does like that, the stick out from this. Which means what? You cannot defeat Duryodhana. You have to put his thighs and break his thighs. And based on the principles or rules of that game, you cannot fight below the vest. You cannot touch that part. Now, one may say, how is Krishna cheating? Yeah, this is cheating. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am the cheater of cheatest. The biggest cheater in the world, I am the cheater. If I know how to cheat, I'll cheat. At that time, Balramji is there. And Balramji sees that. What are you doing? You cannot do that. Because Balramji taught him that mushti, whatever he called it. He was the student of Balramji, Duryodhan. And he was his favorite student. So he was this is what happening, and Krishna just looked at him. Balramji left from there. Just I conversation, whatever, and Balramji left from there. Why am I bringing this topic here? The most prominent aspect of Guru Tattva is whoever is most ineligible, they get mercy most. Who was the culprit for whole Mahabharata? You see, if you have to just think over the whole Mahabharata, you will come back to only one person, Duryodhana. If this guy wouldn't have been there, this war would not have happened. So he is the most biggest culprit in the whole Mahabharata, but Balramji has an affection towards him. That's Guru Tattva. He sees no quality is there. He's still, I want to free this person. This is Balram. And same mood comes Nityanand Prabhu with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he comes that. So in Krishna Balram Leela, coming back to Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, please, are you with me so far? I'm not going everywhere. You're with me, right? So Jay and Vijay first birth was Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Is that right? After that, Lord Ram appeared. Who was that? These two demons appeared in the second form. Who were those? Ravana and who is the other one? Any guesses? Ravana and Kumbhakarna. These are the two people who appeared. Jay Vijay now appearing here. Now one may say, Are even Lord Vishnu's abode, you get curses. How is that possible? Ultimately, we say Mukti. Mukti is going to Lord Vishnu, right? So, how come that is happening? Now, nobody will fight with the Lord. But Lord wants to have Viryaras. He wants to fight with other. Whom do we fight with? He wanted to experience that. That's why Jay and Vijay took the birth of Ravana in this, and Lord had a good fight with them. Same way Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And Krishna Leela, Kamsa and Dantavakra. These are two personality who come. And in the hidden form, in the fourth incarnation, which is Lord Chaitanya, they appeared as Jay Vijay. Oh, sorry, they appeared as Jagai and Madai. We did that drama as well. So, very important to actually worship Balramji because he can get us to Krishna. Otherwise, we can never understand Krishna. What is going? Imagine here Krishna is showing him to cheat, to kill Duryodhana, but Balramji understand because understanding Krishna is very difficult. If you put it on mundane principle, you will never understand Krishna. You will never. Arey, how is he dancing with married women? He was dancing with other gopis. This is a very deep topic actually to discuss. Lord Ram, when he went to the forest, rishis were there. These rishis were in so much of love with Lord Ram, they say, can we have an opportunity to serve? Lord Ram promised them because I am one Patni Vrata and then only service I take from my brother. And when I appear as Krishna, you will take the birth as gopis. And then you will participate in my pastime. And these gopis, now one say they are married. Now, one thing which is beyond our principle, which we need to understand, like Mother Sita, I'm sure you would have heard about. There was a Maya Sita and there was a real Sita. Have you heard about that? No. Okay, let me cover this aspect. When Ravana stole Mother Sita, first and foremost thing, let me clarify that thing. Krishna, Mother Sita, and Krishna's any other associate can never be touched by any person who is not spiritualist, a perfect spiritualist. Ravana is a demon. He cannot even see Mother Sita. What to talk about stealing? Oh, really? But we know he stole Sita. He stole Sita. That was Maya Sita. She became the cause of his destruction. And she was the one who entered in fire, not the real Sita. And where is this coming from? Let me cover this aspect. There was a rishi. He had a beautiful wife. She was in the forest, and Ravana was going in his plane. He saw her and he tried to molest her, and she cursed him. A lady will become the cause of your destruction. And she also cursed him, if you touch any woman without her consent, you will immediately die, your head will burst. That's why he could not touch Mother Sita when she was in Ashok Vatika. Because he knew, अरे घर से मेरे को उसको touch किया, I'm gone. That's why he never forcefully did anything on that side. So coming back to this, Balram's role is very important. And then another personality we are talking about is Yuyudhana. Yuyudhana is actually Satyaki. You know Satyaki? Have you heard about that? So Satyaki is the chariot driver of Lord Krishna. But hold on. Krishna is on the side of Pandavas. How come this guy is on the other side? First day or second day, I told the story about when Duryodhana and Arjuna both goes to Krishna. And then at the time he says, you take my 11 Akshoy Sena on your side. And I will be alone on Arjuna's side. So that 11 Akshoy Sena, sorry. Yeah, हो गया bro. All right. Thank you for saying so now the charioteer of Krishna is on the side of the Dhritarashtra or the Duryodhana. 7 people were saved after the whole Mahabharat war from Pandavas and Kauravas side. Satyaki was a sixth person, and seventh person was Ashwadama, and 5 Pandavas. Everyone on the earth planet was destroyed. Can you imagine? This is the biggest war. Millions and millions and millions of soldiers are fighting that war. And Krishna wanted to establish Dharma. So that's how this story happens. Everyone is with me so far? Right? We are not disconnected, right? Can we move to the next verse?
But why Safari decided to go against?
Because Krishna gave all 11 Akshay Sena to Duryodhana, right? So he has to be on the other side. The whole Krishna's army was on the other side,
Okay.
and everyone was finished. But one aspect which I want to cover. So everyone in the war field went back to Godhead. Oh, this is interesting. I can do any nonsense. Because when they were being shooted by Arjuna, they were looking at Krishna. So whoever had a favorable impression about Krishna, in Vaikuta also, there is not one Vaikuta. That is our understanding based on the scripture. There are various Vaikuta. And there is Ayodhya also. There is Mathura also. There is Vrindavan also. There is Dwarka also. Right? All those are Vaikuta planet. Not one Vaikuta planet. Is all the incarnation of Krishna have their Vaikuta planet. Those are called as Vaikuta planet. So we will cover that sometime. There is a beautiful picture. I'll see. I'll bring it or I'll arrange that. So this is material world, and in material world there are 14 planetary systems. We are in one of the planet, which is Earth planet. Below the Earth planet are the hellish planets, and above the Earth, then the Sun planet, Moon planet, the heavenly planet, and out of all 14 planets, the highest planet is Brahmaloka, where Lord Brahma resides. So Jnani is who wants to acquire jnana about philosophy. Their highest stage they can reach it to Brahmaloka or mode of goodness. Oh, I'll do everything good. They can never cross over material world. They have to live there. And when their karma finish, like your credit card, you get over, you come back. So you come back here. Above Brahmaloka is a Viraja river. So one side of the Viraja river is the material world, another side of a Viraja river is the Brahman Jyoti. So you see a lot of people focus on the light. Oh, they do that. So they meditate on the light. And where is this light coming from? Krishna's body. Krishna's body. I told that his body radiates the light like millions. Since I mentioned that when he came in front of Duryodhana, he showed his Vishwaroop at the time. Above the Brahmaloka is Lord Shiva's planet, Sadashiva planet. And above that are all Vaikuta planet. And on top of all Vaikuta planet is Golok Vrindavan. The Vrindavan Dham which is here, it's a reflection of Golok Vrindavan from spiritual world. Same way. So this is which I wanted to cover. And those people who were killed in an envious mood, they enter into Brahman Jyoti, which I was mentioning just now. And some went into Venkataloka. But Krishna's associate goes to Krishna Loka, the topmost planet. So, what's the difference between Krishna Loka and other Vaikuta? You can be a parent of Krishna, you can be a lover of Krishna, you can be a friend of Krishna. You can never be a friend of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu, you when you go to the temple, you worship. Even here also, when we unless we reach to that highest stage, we worship with awe and reverence. Right? God is God. I'm just a insignificant. But when you come to the highest stage of bhakti, that's like having that relationship with Krishna. Oh, I want to be his friend. I want to be his parent. How come Yashoda Maya is there as parent always? That's the mood. So there are four rasas which are there in Golok Vrindavan. In other Vaikuta planet, there is only one rasa which is called the Shanti rasa. Shanti rasa means serving Lord Vishnu in different aspect. That rasa is also there in Golok Vrindavan. Above that is a Sakhya rasa. Sakhya means friend. You can have friendly relationship with Krishna. You see Subal, you see other friends of Krishna and Krishna Leela. That's the second rasa. The third rasa above that is Vatsalya rasa, the parently relationship. Like Kunti Marani has a parental relationship with Krishna. Devaki, Vasudev, Yashoda Maya, parental relationship with Krishna. And then above that is the conjugal relationship, Srimati Radharani and other associates, the lover of Krishna. And that role is actually also serving Srimati Radharani and Krishna there. And the highest of all that is Srimati Radharani. That's why when you go to Vrindavan, they call Krishna second, they will say Radhe Radhe. Because Krishna himself becomes a servant of Sri Radha. That's her potency. That's the her position. So that's how these are the rasas which are then Venkatala. Everyone is with me?
Yeah.
We will read fifth shloka. Drishtaketus chekate sorry Chekitanaha Kashi Raja Chaviryava Purujit Kunti Bojascha Shaibhyascha Narapungavaha. Can someone read the translation?
Okay. There are also great heroic, powerful fighters like Drashtaketu, Saketana,
Hmm.
Kasiraja, Purujit, Kuntiboja,
And Saibya.
Shaibya.
So these are various kings who are participating on his side. And see, the why is Duryodhana speaking about all this stuff? How is this material world is designed? Like we all do appraisal process, we all go through appraisal process, and when we go for appraisal, what is that? Oh, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did, right? Or if you say no, I didn't do it, this guy did it, or whatever, out of humility, like for an example, there are two team players and you're achieving something and you say no, I didn't do it, this guy did it. What will happen? You will be fired. Or you are not producing, why should I keep you? I'll keep this guy, I'll give him a raise, I will not give you the raise. This is material world. Material world is competency. How much brain you have, but spiritual life is about how much devotion you have. So that's why we don't come here to Bhagavad Gita to philosophically understand Bhagavad Gita. We are here to develop devotion and understand from Arjuna. Arjuna is our mentor. He is he is he is he's on our side. He's representing us, and we are learning from his mood. What is his mood? We need to understand that aspect. We are not here to become Duryodhana. Duryodhana is a very very intelligent guy, though he's on the negative side, but he is really, in fact, there are certain incidents which happen in Mahabharata. You will say, oh wow, this guy has much more moral principle than any of us, to be honest. Like one time, so Duryodhana was fighting with Yakshas and he was defeated. And Yakshas were capturing him. Yudhishthira Maharaj called his four brothers, we have to save him. Bhima said, why would we save him? This guy is a culprit, always gives us trouble. Why? Bole, when we are, when whatever enmity is there between both of us, that is on the family level. But when we are fighting with someone else, we are together. We are not five, we are 106. By the way, if you know, there was 101 guy because Dhritarashtra had another wife. From him, there was one son born. And he was the one who was telling Ashwat, not, he was the one who was telling not to disrobe Draupadi. And he was shut off by Karna because he was the only moralist in all 100 Kauravas. So he said, when we are in front of our enemies, we are 106, not 5 in this. So release, they defeat Yakshas, and then Yakshas are, by the way, when I say those planets on the higher side, so Yakshas on the higher planet side, right? So then Duryodhana says, I am ready to give you boon whatever you want to Arjuna because Arjuna freed him. He said, when the time comes, I'll ask. Okay. Now, when this war is happening, which is just down the line, the Duryodhana goes to Bhishma. He says, you're not fighting on top. He's the commander in chief, right? And he put a condition, either I will fight or Karna will fight. So Karna is not there as long as Bhishma Dev is there, if you know this Mahabharata. And when Bhishma Dev is fighting, so Duryodhana goes to him, you're not fighting at top of your capacity because you love that side. So he tries to ridicule him and he tried to agitate because he's Kshatriya, right? So he uses politics to agitate him. And Bhishma Dev said, tomorrow, these are the 5 arrows, I will destroy them. So Duryodhana says, give me these 5 arrows, I don't trust you, I will keep them. And tomorrow I'll give you in the war field. So he takes the 5 arrows. Arjuna is sleeping in his camp. This is happening on this side of the camp, right? Arjuna is sleeping in his camp. Krishna comes, "Arey, wake up! Why, Krishna? Arey, Bhishma is going to kill you guys tomorrow." He took a vow. Where is Krishna knowing all this stuff? He's a Paramatma within each and every one's of our heart. He knows everything. Arey, he's going to kill you. You have to do something. This is not an ordinary Bhishma. Krishna, I don't have to worry about. You will take care. No, you wake up. What should I do? Go to Duryodhana. But what should I do there? You ask him those 5 arrows. Are you able to visualize what is happening here? And Arjun goes. Duryodhana says, "What do you want? If you want, I'll give you the whole kingdom." This is the point I wanted to come to. You don't want to fight, you take the whole kingdom. Because I give you, oh no, you took. Arey, you are fighting for that stuff. This is Duryodhana. Power principles. You take it. Whole this. I'm not here to take this. Uh, any of us would be there. You will say, "Arey, I want one person gives you $1,000,000. Hey, do you want to take this $1,000,000 lottery?" Nobody will say no. Why not? Arey, I'm struggling so hard. If I had $1,000,000, I'll go back to India, live nicely, and I don't want to work hard. And I'm like, even in America, I don't want to work hard, right? Anyone? Arjuna said, "No, I don't want. What do you want?" Eat 5 arrows. 5 arrows? How did you know I have these 5 arrows? This is Krishna. When Krishna is there on your side, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Because Krishna is there on your side. This happened to Draupadi also. So he gave him 5 arrows. This is the background story. Second time it happens is when Duryodhana is defeated by Bhima, and he is completely with the bloodshed, completely he's about to die. He's on the battlefield just lying there. Ashwadama kills Draupadi's 5 sons. They were sleeping. He killed them. And then he went to Duryodhana. I have a news for you. What happened? Did you defeat Arjuna? No, I killed Draupadi's 5 sons. They were sleeping. Duryodhana became so angry. Hey, do you have some moral principles or not? How can you kill the Kshatriyas who are sleeping? That's against the law, against the moral principle. Now he may have said, right? Arey, Bhima killed me in immoral way. He shouldn't be touching my thighs. Yeah, that good you did that. You also have to do tit for tat. That's how this world is all about. But Duryodhana also had principles. He said, no, you did wrong, man. Shame on you. And you see the principle again coming back to this. This is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Arjuna gets to know, and he says, I'm going to get you the head of Ashwadama. He goes for the fight with Ashwadama. Ashwadama releases Brahmastra. Brahmastra is the highest powerful astra one can release. The power of Brahmastra is that it will only target the audience, whomever it wants to kill. Nothing will happen to anything else. That's so powerful. So Brahmastra he released. Arjuna also released Brahmastra. And there was so much of heat created. So Krishna withdrew both the Brahmastra. Remember, Krishna said, I will never fight. What is going on here? Right? It's all Krishna doing actually. And then he takes up both the Brahmastra, and Arjuna catch hold of this guy and brings it in front of Draupadi. He killed her sons. Only his sons. Draupadi had 5 sons. Killed him. You know what Draupadi said? Let him go. Arey, what is this guy killed your 5 sons? Why are you saying like that? I know Ashwadama's father was your Dronacharya, was your teacher, and his mother. I know what is the pain mother goes through when her children are dead. I don't want her to suffer like I am suffering. Principle. These are principles. This is so deep philosophy which we need to imbibe. Which we need to learn what such a character they have. Our universities, our colleges never gives us character. What they give you is competency. And that's why so much nonsense is happening even in India today. I was shocked when I heard there is a concept of drugs which is sold publicly in universities today. Do you know that? Publicly, you have shop where you get drugs in universities like IIT, IIM today. Really sad. Why? Because competency, no character. On the name of school, on this, there is no religiosity. Yeah, remove it, remove the name of God from schools. That's what is being taught. All the books are rewritten to remove all the spirituality from the root. This is what Britishers did when they were controlling us. You know what they did? They were not successful. So some of the Indians who were on this side, their root is in their scriptures. Burn the scriptures. So they burned all the libraries which had all the scriptures, because their faith is in these scriptures. If you burn these scriptures, they will never have a base, and then we will conquer them. That's their motive. That's how they were able to actually counterattack. Otherwise, if you see, there was no Hindu Muslim conflict and all that stuff happening before. There was no Hindu Muslim. These guys were destroyed. All these is because their base, their unity is based on scriptures. Destroy them, and that's how they able to attack on us, and they were able to actually rule over us for many many years, right? And even after they left, we are struggling, like we just talked about. There's no independence we talked about, which she said, right? So we'll move to the next verse, text 6. Yuddhaman yuddha manyuscha vikranta. Thank you, bro. Uttamojascha viryavan. Saubhadro Draupadyascha Sarva Eva Maharatha. Anyone read translation?
They are mighty Yuddhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamansha, Uttamansha,
Yeah.
the son of Suputra, and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters.
He is trying to tell how is my capacity in today's world. Everything is about opulence. Look at how much bank balance I have. Look how much impact I have, how much potential I have, and we just live on based on that. So this is what the Duryodhana mentality is. We'll read the next verse, text 7. Ashmakam tu vishishyatye Taniboda Dvijotama Nayaka Mama Sainasya Samjnartham Tan Bravimite. Who can read the translation?
But for your information, O best of the Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force.
So he's keep on going about I, me, and mine. Look at me, what I have. Look at me, what I have. Look at me, what I have. Right? He is. Sorry, bro. Ah, yes. Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Right? So he is again going and going, just talking about himself. You know, the fear. When we are fearful about something, no, we think about, oh, maybe this will. I have this, maybe this will protect me. I have this, that will protect me. So he is very insecure, Duryodhana. And out of his insecurity, he is talking about his mundane qualification. Look at what I have. Look at what I have. I'm sure I'll be able to save myself. You're just talking about this thing. And we will end with this one. I don't know if you have seen on YouTube. So this LA wildfire which has happened, big Hollywood celebrities just within fraction of seconds or minutes became like without house. They're just out of their house. Their houses were burnt into ashes. And I was just briefly mentioning the other day, there was some voting going on about one of the movie which was talking about God, and another one was like talking about, so who will vote for that? So none of the people vote for that. So the person who was arranging that vote, she said, yeah, our society is godless society. This happened actually early, just before this wildfire. And then People's house were destroyed, irrelevant of whatever, however rich I am, however this thing, however influencing person I am or influencer I am. Material nature never discriminates. When material nature, like COVID, you can't say, oh, COVID will only happen to poor people or it will not happen to the CEO, it will not happen. No, material nature never discriminates. So there are three kind of difficulties we have in our life, whether we want or we don't want, whether I'm a devotee or I'm not devotee, whether I'm practicing devotee and devotional life at the highest stage, or I'm just a newcomer in bhakti coming up here. There are three kind of miseries which come. And some you can handle, and I'll cover that aspect. One is miseries caused by material nature, which I was mentioning about: drought, this wildfires, these COVID and other things which happens around. You have no control over it, and that will keep happening. Don't think COVID went on, we will not have another thing. It happened. If you see history, there were so many viruses came here before, destroyed so much. They're gone. Whoever could be the reason. That's another game altogether. I don't want to get into that stuff of who created this virus, how it spread. There is a whole documentary on that stuff, and you will be shocked to hear what is happening, even at the political side. And political side, just to give you something, I don't want to quote the names, but there are two sides. One is a dark side and one is a bright side. Both are horrible people, but the dark side people is their thought processes. There is too much population on Earth planet. Let's reduce it by 60%. This is the whole agenda. Great people whom you know. I don't want to quote the names. This is going on live. I don't want to say the names. 60% population. What do? We'll create this virus. They created the virus in laboratory, and that's one of the reason there is a fight happening between Russia and then what is the other country? Ukraine. It's a mess. If you get to know the political aspect of it, so they create it, they send it, and then all that happen. They are working on another thing. We are living in that world. I don't want to quote the name. That's for another weapon to deal. If you don't have money, you don't have a food. You don't have a food, you will die. Or you will take illegal means to kill other people to earn money. Today is a case in London. London taxes are so high, people are not able to pay that. Whoever is living, they have to run their livelihood. There are so many robberies happening. Real thing in today's world. At the end of the day, if you are paying so much taxes, how are you going to live? You don't have a job, how are you going to run your livelihood? Very difficult. So kill, rob people. And that's what is happening in today's world. So that's miseries caused by material nature. We cannot control. The second is miseries caused by body and mind. So many diseases. Even if you are like I was just thinking about my mind. She would not eat any oily food. She was a salad fan. Any time you give her salad, very controlled diet. But the disease she had, no idea. Miseries come by body. You have no control. Diet can help you to a certain extent, but if it has to come, you have no idea how you're going to take care of that. And there are so many examples on that. So misery is caused by body, misery is caused by mind. Today, the biggest ratio of people dying is by suicide, willingly dying. Why? Do you know what is it? What is the reason for this? Reason could be anything for the suicide, but where is this disease coming? That's a disease of the mind. Your mind says this person did like that, this person. I gave an example about the other day, first day, when this father and his daughter was there. He got a new car, and then he wrote I love you, and then he was sent into jail, and he almost beated her so much that she was hospitalized. Can't handle. How can you do this to me? Misery is caused by mind. Stress. What is stress? You have an expectation, and you are here, the expectation is doesn't meet, and that's why you're stressed. So it's a distance between what you expected and what you didn't get. That's stress. Killing people. Why? Arey, I want to suicide. Why? Because I always get number one. This time I got number two. Where is this coming from? Any one of us here will say, stupid. What difference does it make, one or two? Right? You think to, but for that person, the mind is the biggest problem. It's giving him that conviction to do that. Like I was talking about terrorism. Where is this coming from? Mind. One time my spiritual master was there, one Christian follower was there. He said, "You're going to hell." He was telling to my spiritual master. So my spiritual master asked him, "So where are you going?" "I'm going to heavens." "Better I'll go to hell, because if people like you are living in heaven, better I will live in hell, so that I have people who are not like orthodox idea, my religion or no religion." This is misery caused by body and mind. Mind convinces you this is not right. Or I have so many things to take care of. Why do I have to attend Bhagavad Gita? I'm sure everyone has one or the other activity which you wanted to do, but you couldn't do at that time. You may have to go for groceries, you have to take care of family, you think I have to take care of my house and other things. So many activities are there, but you chose, I want to be here. What is that one thing which makes you different from other folks? You decided, my mind is saying I don't want to do that. I'm so grateful to you. I know how much snow is outside, driving is a mess, but you came here. In spite of that, this is what attracts Krishna. Jesus Christ said a beautiful line. I like that point, and I live on that principle. He said, either be a either be hot or cold. Don't be a lukewarm devotee. Otherwise, I'll spit at you. What does this mean? Cold means forget everything. I don't want to have spiritual. I want to enjoy life at the fullest. Why do I have to take care of this? When I'll die, I'll die. Who cares? Life is like an ice cream. Eat it before it melts. Not like a candle. Give light until it melts. What's the difference between ice cream and lamp? Lives to give others. Ice cream is just to enjoy it, finish it. So that's cold. What is hot? Follow this rigorously. This is the life. I want to make it in this life. I don't want to come back again. Lukewarm is, like we said, Prakriti the other day. You remember we were just talking about sometime like this, sometime that. Why? We need to understand the philosophy and then take it. And we will read. When Arjuna was told, and I'll lead with that, this is 5. When Dronacharya called all 5 Pandavas and Kauravas for a assessment. So he calls. He asked Yudhishthir first, Duryodhan, what do you see on that tree? I see the leaves, I see the blue sky, I see clouds. Move aside. Bhima, I see the fruits, nice fruits. I want like this thing. Move aside. Duryodhana, move aside. Arjuna, you come. Arjuna, what do you see? I see the eye of a bird. It was not a real bird, it's a wooden bird. I see. Shoot. Done. What is this? One pointed attention. Our life is so diverted in so many things. You know what is one of the management principles? Time management. Time is money. If you manage time well, you can make so much. Time management, what you need is that focus. What is my priority? There are 4 buckets. Very important, urgent, not important, and less important, or not at all important. So what do you target about? Urgent first. This is my, they may not be long term benefit. For an example, I have a health problem. I have to take care of my health. Otherwise, I'm like, for an example, I have a sugar problem. I have to take care of my sugar. Otherwise, I just go to hospital. I see in today's age, young people have so many blood and all this problem, sugar. How come we used to hear it 60, 70? Everyone has it. All not everyone, a lot of people have it. Why? Because we cannot understand what is urgent and what is the, that's why our um, temple president, he wrote another. So this is on XY dimension. You see 4. This is X. Oh, sorry. This is Y and this is X, right? That's how it happens. Oh no, this is X. This is Y, right? So this is 2 dimension, right? But there is a third dimension, Z. That's spirituality. Spirituality doesn't come on XY coordination. So not that you don't take care of your health, not that you don't take care of your job. You have to see the Z. If you don't see the Z, you're a problem. Spirituality is a thing which helps you to control mind, which nobody can do it without spirituality. So that's the second problem. Third problem is misery is caused by other living entities. My friend did that, my boss did that, this person did that, that did that. Irrelevant of whatever I do, even Krishna was misunderstood by so many people. Imagine if God can be misunderstood by other people. Who are we? We want to, everyone should be on my side. It will never happen. If Krishna can't make it happen, how can you make it happen? So, with that, we would like to end. Any questions or comments or any reflections?
See, one of the things we were talking about the fire in
Earlier,
California,
yeah.
right? So there was some article which came up, and I didn't see everyone is
Hmm.
talking about it. It's, whatever he said, plus I believe people who actually believed in spirituality,
Hmm.
their houses did not burn.
Ah,
And the people who said there's no God, spirituality, their houses got burned. I mean, that's they did the voting and they found that those people believed it and their houses are still alive. I don't know if it is true, but
it
that's
is
the
not.
message coming from there.
It is not because few of our devotees' house got burned.
Burned.
But why I'm bringing this aspect? Don't think the problems will not happen to us because we are devotee. Pandavas were devotees as well. They went through. I'll tell you, if you were to quote anyone from Shastras, Pandavas, you see their life.
Miserable life.
But now one may say, "Oh, if I have to suffer this way or that way, why? Where is my spirituality helps me?" This is a good question one may have. When you go in the flight, say for an example, you take a flight from New York, you see the biggest tower in New York. You see like that. When you go in the flight, you go up, 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 up. You see that building like tiny, tiny, and becomes like a dot. When you practice spirituality, the problems don't go away, but your consciousness is at such a high level, those problems look very small.
Ignore it. Ignore it.
Look very small. You will ignore it because this doesn't make sense. This is what spirituality gives you. It doesn't let you be away from the problem. That's where you see lotus flower. It's one of the most beautiful flower in the earth planet. That's actually there in the spiritual world also. There are two things. One is the mango is the only fruit which is there in heavenly planet and here also. Otherwise, all the fruits are much more than that in heavenly world. So only this thing is found, this mango and then the lotus flower. You see lotus flower, it doesn't grow in a very beautiful lake. It grows in where very muddy.
Partially.
That's why I say live in the world but off the world. Live like a lotus flower. If you put a drop of water, it doesn't penetrate in the flower. This is called as live in the world but off the world. Very important philosophy. This is what bhakti teaches you. Live in the world but off the world. These problems don't become disappear, but your consciousness is at that level, they problem don't exist for you. This is the beauty. Was it helpful, Prabhu? Thank you for that comment. Anything else you want to add? Any reflections? Want to share something?
Yeah, you mentioned the three types of misery.
Miseries,
So
yeah.
I think if I try to relate that in one Adhyatmic book, they also mentioned like Tapatrayi
Ah,
means
yeah.
Adi Daivik,
Adi Daivik, Adhyatmik. Huh.
yeah, Adhyatmic, Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik.
Correct. That's a Sanskrit word. Thank you for bringing
That's
that.
what they call Tapatrayi.
Yes.
You can experience three types of tapa.
Correct.
One which is like atmosphere or everything.
Yeah.
One is like you get hurt
Yeah.
physically, and
Body,
the third
yes.
is like you get feel miserable. Which is
Yeah,
like
because someone
inside.
said something because you're feeling like that way.
Yeah. So the third is more inside, which you cannot see,
Huh.
but it's really happening within.
Within. So that's why when we were just talking about when we die, we have two bodies, physical body and subtle body. The physical body dies, but subtle body continues. So your impressions, whatever you earned this far, continues. I want to end with this one thing. I took it to my heart and it really helps me. My mentor, he said a line. He said, life is like a movie. Like you have in the previous time you had a reel. You remember that reel? Now there is a different concept of reel, but you have like a tape, and on the tape, whatever you do in every day, impressions gets created on that tape, like written on a magnetic tape. You think like that magnetic tape. So you incur or you keep going these experiences. Some of them you still remember when you were a child, you did this thing and you liked it, or whatever it is, or something bad happened, you still remember. Those are impressions. So you create the impressions throughout the life. Oh, this is very tragic as well as a very deep aspect to think about. When we die, this whole tape runs in front of us, from the childhood to the to that day, that impressions, those impressions which we created, and where it stops, that's the birth you will take next life. Karma and law of last thought. We will read that in Bhagavad Gita. This is the law of last thought. What am I thinking about at last minute will decide my next birth. So now one may say, then, oh, what do I do? Spirituality is about putting these impressions or override these impressions with spiritual experiences. This is spirituality. Spiritual experiences, so that when the reel is running, you have higher spiritual this thing, you have high